Hey guys, and welcome back to Let's Play Diablo 3. Now, last time...
This must be where the star fell. Its crater is tinged with some strange magic.
Lots of magic. There's a lot of magic around here. You can actually interact with the world in this game. You can actually get yourself achievements for dropping enough of the in-game physics, like chandeliers and such, or other different things they have on your enemies. And I'm not going to get into that too much just because it's not really worth it.
I am so good.
But
I
yeah,
astound
you can
myself.
use these to try and take out enemies. These guys will blow up when you hit them, so there's some amount of strategy with these guys. Most enemies don't have a crap ton of strategy. Just basically throw magic at them, and that's pretty much it. Now here we have a lectern, which is another thing that can drop more scrolls, and again, we're not going to listen to that. But yeah, we can have, like, there are different qualities, let's put it that way, of items. There's the regular white items, such as this shield here, which is better than what I'm using, based on defense, but only has 13% chance to block, whereas my shield has 20%, although it doesn't block much more, you know, it actually, you know, blocks less damage, but it blocks more often. So I think it kind of balances out. I'm just going to keep that. It's not particularly important at this point. The other thing we have is we have what's called superior, which is anything with a positive prefix, or inferior, or damaged, or whatever you want to refer to it, when they have a non, you know, like an unbeneficial prefix. So a broken one, or a damaged one, or a cracked one. And the difference here is this one here has a crap ton of attack speed. It actually does more damage than the weapon I have. That is a lot of attack speed. Oddly enough, the white items can get more attack speed than anything else. In most other things, the maximum amount of attack speed is 9%. There are a couple of legendaries that go beyond that, but other than those, the only things that have this much attack speed in the game are these, you know, superior items. As you notice there at the right above the 7.1, it says superior dagger. This is a regular shield. Now I'll show, you know, an inferior one if I happen to find it. There's no point in picking those up at this point. You can also use these wooden barricades to do damage to your enemies, as well as walls. Though it's, you know, hit or miss, really. You know, balanced, again, is just another superior one. This one also has attack speed, which is nice. At this point, we're just basically trying to make our way through here. You can also use
I'm just warming up.
Those enemies there, the ones that blow up, to deal damage to all the enemies around them. Here we have a shrine. That will just increase our damage taken reduced by 25%. That's nice. Now, the maps here are randomly generated, and that being the case, we can, let's pick up that sash. I don't have one of those yet.
Your grave awaits!
But they're randomly generated to an extent. I think they made the claim when it came out that you'd never experience the same map twice, which is complete and total bullshit, considering I can find my way around reasonably well in this game. And if you notice that little icon there, that tells you exactly that you're going the right way. That's your goal on this specific map, the Cathedral Level 1 indicated up here. Low quality gloves, again, inferior gloves. Okay, that's what they're referred to as. I picked up that sash earlier. Superior belt, thick sash, that's not too bad, gives more defense. It's pretty much all we need at this point. And I don't need to do that. Here goes to the next area, and we'll get an auto checkpoint. And here we get back to the point where I showed you in the cutscene during the preview.
May this leg hold.
May this leg hold. Yeah, he's that old at this point. Deckard Cain.
Skeleton Cain.
This guy.
The power of the fallen star awakened me, and soon all will suffer as I have suffered. Gods, bring me his bones!
Still a Princess Mononoke reference. You still need to watch that movie. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you've seen it. Watch it again. I need to watch it again. Awesome movie. But yeah, the this is the point where we got to before, and Deckard Cain really is that old. Now we kill him and pick up, you know, the standard stuff. We don't need any pants. Those aren't better than what we have. Nope. Thick buckler. 20% chance to block, more defense. Sure, why not? And like I said, sell value is so minimal on these that it's not even worthwhile.
Oh, thank you. But why did you risk yourself for me?
You live. Fortune smiles on you, old man. I'm here to bring you back to Leah.
Oh, it is wonderful to hear that Leah is well. I feared the worst. I learned of this secret passage through old maps I found.
Okay, a lot of the references they've had are to the opening video, which I don't even know if you can actually show that sequence off after you've seen it
I have
the first
fulfilled
time.
my promise to Leah and rescued her uncle, Deckard Cain. Now, all that stands between me and the fallen star is the Skeleton King, who has returned to darken Tristram once again.
And here we get into some of the lore of the Diablo universe.
Uncle, you're alive!
Thanks to you and your friend here.
Our time is running short. What can you tell me about the fallen star?
Not much, I'm afraid, though the prophecy of the end days surely points to it as a sign that the end has begun.
Please, Uncle, not more of your stories. All that matters now is that you're back.
One of the things I do really like about this game is the voice acting. Now, Leia's got a reasonably, you know, like the quality of her voice fits her character reasonably well. Deckard Cain has had the same voice for 3 games. His voice is just iconic for this series of games. It really is, and it's really awesome. The random characters that we get, like random NPCs, hit or miss. Our own characters, some of them have really well-known voice actors, and some of them don't. The only one that came over from Diablo 2 was the barbarians, the male barbarians. So that's an interesting note. They also have famed anime voiceover guy Crispin Freeman as the male wizard.
The Skeleton King was once our beloved lord, Leoric. He was driven mad by Diablo's evil.
Leoric used to be the king
He
around
lost
here.
both of his sons and his very soul before he was finally defeated. Now it seems he's risen to plague this land once again.
Leoric's tale is sad, but I am here to find the fallen star, and the Skeleton King stands in my way.
The key to defeating him lies in his old crown. Seek out our blacksmith, Hadrig. He knows of its whereabouts.
So we're on the...
Leah, you should not dismiss the signs so lightly. Do you not believe the evidence of your own eyes?
Horrors have visited Tristram before, and it endured.
But what of the texts? The Zakharum tomes warn of a falling star. The Herodric scroll spoke of the dead rising, and the Lord of Lies. The prophecy of the end days says that at the end of all things, the first sign shall appear in the heavens.
Yes, you've been telling me about the texts since I was 8 years old, Uncle. I just don't think we should read too much into them.
Again, this is an RPG, so one, background information on the story is great. Like I was reasonably interested in the story for this game when I first got it. Now, you know, this is one of those games where you enjoy the story during your first playthrough through normal with your first character. After that, you skip as many things as possible and run through the game as fast as possible, which is kind of the reason for this playthrough, you know, this Let's Play. But, you know, here we have our next quest, the Shattered Crown. Again, Cain's voice is really, really epic for what he does. Yeah, he babbles about Leia tending to people. Shut up, go away. You're annoying.
Blacksmith, Deckard Cain said you could help me find the crown of Leoric.
There we go.
Not now. It's my wife. She's locked in the cellar like all those who've been bitten. I'm to put them all down. But how can I kill my own wife?
I know it will be difficult, but she would want you to do it. I will help you.
Thank you. Follow me.
Well, there's a kind of a heart-wrenching little side quest that we have here. Enter the cellar. And we can kill some more bad guys. Just break down the crappy door. And these guys all turn on us instantly.
I'm sorry.
You are helping them. You don't need to be sorry.
And I think I mentioned this in the last part, or maybe in this part, I can't even remember anymore.
Mira, my love, forgive me.
But, you know, all of the things that our characters say, Kriya has the exact same response from NPCs and, you know, other people here and there. You can actually get an achievement for letting him deliver the final blow on his wife, which is kind of sadistic, really.
I couldn't have done this without you. I'm in your debt. My name is Hedrig Aemon.
Well, Hadrig, Deckard Cain told me you know where Leoric's crown is.
I can help you there. It's buried with his Chancellor, my grandfather. You'll find his tomb in a cemetery in the Weeping Hollow. And if you see my fool apprentice out there, tell him to get back to town.
Now, his apprentice is not a side quest, it's just a random enemy that will, or not enemy, but we'll see him along the way kind of idea. Now, in order to find him, we usually have to go looking for him because he's not right in the open. Luckily, he's also right here in this particular playthrough. So...
Hadrig's apprentice is dead.
Yeah.
I should tell him.
And that just sounds really condescending, like she doesn't care at all. And all people, oh, there's the bracers, that's nice. All people, all characters have the same tone in their response. Now, every time we talk to that, we almost, as far as I've seen, always get a magic item. And this one's not particularly useful, but it's better than what I got on, so that's junk that can go there. Now, I can sacrifice some defense here and get some dexterity and some gold pickup radius. And basically what that does is, you know, you can stand further away from the gold on the ground and still be able to pick it up. Now, if we kind of target one of those guys, we can take out a lot of enemies with exploding enemies, which is very beneficial. There is a very rare spawning dungeon in this area. Ooh, 40 gold, nice. For this point in the game, anyway. But, you know, this dungeon is a rare spawn. I don't think it's spawned this time, and I'm not going to go searching for it because it's really not that important. But if you do happen to find a dungeon in this area, I would highly recommend going in there because you'll end up in... Oh, I could have put that on last level. This isn't particular... Well, actually, no, I'm a wizard. That is particularly good for me. Guess I don't need that anymore. But like I said before, keep all magic and rare items that we'll collect. And I can throw in this ring. And there we go. I gotta wait a couple more levels so I can get some more of my other gear on. But yeah, definitely go into that dungeon if you happen to see it spawn in this particular area. There's only one dungeon that can spawn in this area, from what I remember. It took me 20 or 30 attempts in order to get it. Now this particular shrine gives us more experience. You're going to want to hit pretty much all the shrines you see throughout the game. And we can go in here. Now here, we can get a dungeon to spawn here. This is a different area, by the way, as you can see by the top of the screen here. And we can get one to appear here, and there's two more on this part of the map and this part of the map. And usually 3 of the 4 will spawn. If the 4th one spawns, it's a really rare dungeon. I think I've only got it once all the time I've played this game, and I've put 200 plus hours into this game. Not all of that's actually playing, half of it's sitting around being bored. Here we have some champions. Let's kill some champions. And those guys are useless. Any of them with the blue name up there, those are champions. And we get something semi-useful. Piece of magic gear that's probably... Yes, it's a crossbow, which does nothing for us. Now, all of these, like normally 3 of these dungeons spawn. And there's usually... And only, well, not usually, there's always only one of them that is actually important. I'm in the wrong one. Once you see this and this character here,
Grave robbers have defiled my
You're in the
tomb.
wrong one.
Now my husband writhes in torment because I do not rest at his side. Return my bones so that we may rest in peace.
Okay. Basically, you know, go to the urn. It'll spawn an enemy. You don't have to kill it. You know, go ahead if you want, but basically, you know, activate all of these, and it's going to spawn a lot of enemies. And I got slowed. Yeah, it spawned a lot of enemies here, see? And we can, you know, take them out if we want, or without killing anybody, including any of those guys, we attack
They can
this,
rest again.
they all die, we get some experience for it. I don't think we get the experience count for killing each and every one of them, but we get some extra items. Now, I said I wasn't going to go through all of the little side, you know, side quests in this game, and if I happen to stumble upon one that's quick, like this one, I'm not going to have a
This
problem.
isn't the right
Do it.
crypt. The crown must be in one of the other
But yeah,
ones.
if you go all the way to the end and you find one of these guys, which is basically a warp stone, it will warp you out of the current dungeon back to the very start where you entered. And that's very beneficial, so we don't have to walk all the way out. Now, we activated the waypoint when we came in. I kind of glanced over it. Fleeting. Fleeting is probably my favorite shrine because it increases our walk-run speed, which is abysmally slow at this point in the game. This dungeon, if I remember, is not the right one. I could be wrong, but you kind of start to learn as you play the game a lot, you know, which dungeons look correct. Actually, this one could be the right one. Now,
I am stronger still.
yay, I leveled up. Now, if this is the right dungeon, the exit should be in this direction, I think. They do say that there are a lot of different variations, and they're correct about that, but there's not an infinite amount. Now, I believe I'm going the right way. If not, I can always backtrack. I'm not going the right way. Okay. Ow! Bastard. Yeah, so I've picked up a bunch of junk that really is not all that useful to me at this point in the game, but... Okay, so if you ever kind of get lost, check your map using the tab key. By default, you can check out where all your things are located. Go to Options, hit Escape in order to get the menu. Options, Key Bindings, and of course I've changed a bunch of these, but you know, you have a bunch of stuff to do. Now, half the fun of Diablo, or at least a lot of Blizzard games, because they have the option to bug characters, and you can do... Oh, this is the right one. Look at that. There's another variation with a very similar floor plan to that last floor, where you take the left path like I did the first time,
This looks like a crypt fit for a chancellor.
and that's the
The
right
crown
way.
must be here.
Now, here, you're always going to spawn a little boss, a little mini-boss. So go up there, spawn him, wait, and then hit him. You didn't die in one hit. Bastard. Now, like I was saying, if you use the number pad,
Follow.
you can initiate little commands.
You want this? Thanks. My fault. Goodbye. You're going to die. Start running. Wait for me. If only they could see me now.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of little sayings, and there's also some that aren't even mapped. And by mapped, I mean they're not set to any specific key. So if you go into Options, into Key Bindings, and you scroll down, you'll see not social, sorry. Yeah, emotes or whatever. And see, these are all set to the number pad right now. But there are a whole bunch that are not set, or they're set to other keys that I'm not thinking about using. I probably changed those. I don't know if that's how they were set to begin with anymore. It's been so long since I played around with that. Anyway, here's the Chancellor's altar. Here we initiate,
I will not allow you to bring that
the
monster
Chancellor.
Leoric back to this world.
and we kill him. And he dies. And he's all gone. And now we talk to this again. And for doing this, we get the town portal. Use the T key, and you will summon a town portal, which allows you to go back to town from any point in the game, as long as you're not already in town. And we can talk to
You found the crown.
Hedwig.
Truth be told, I didn't think you'd make it back alive. Ah, it needs repair. Should be no problem.
And
It's good to work again.
basically what this guy is going to be is he's going to be our
New as the
blacksmith.
day it was
He's going to
placed upon
repair
the
our
Black
items.
King's head. I need something more than making spades to occupy
Yeah,
my
yeah, we
mind.
know.
I want my life to mean something.
Then help me. I will use your handiwork for great things.
Very
I'm
much
afraid
so.
I have bad news. Your apprentice has died.
Fool boy. Hope for the worst and you will not be disappointed. Thank you for the news.
Getting, talking to his corpse only gets you one thing. After this quest, it opens up this little box down here where you click there, and we get a letter from
My
his
dearest
wife,
Hatred.
which, again, I don't care about. Now, in order to continue on, we talk to Cain.
I have the crown. How do I reach the Skeleton King?
At last. With it, you can unlock the sealed door in the room where you rescued me and enter the royal crypts. When you find the Skeleton King, place the crown atop his head and destroy him.
The Skeleton King dies today. I must find the fallen star.
Well, not today. I'm not going to get all the way to the Skeleton King today. I'm not going to go much further than this, actually. However, now that we have access to the blacksmith, we have some options here. And they basically account to forging weapons. Now, I've collected pretty much all of them. There are different books that you can pick up in later difficulties that allow you to make different items for different levels. There are a few that you start off with that you might be able to use, such as, an apprentice axe. You can craft them with using these subtle essences, which I have a few in my stash. But the reason we want to hang on to all of these, that's not bad. Not great, but not bad. I might as well throw that on. That's substantially better. Throw that away. That armor is much better than my armor. Let's throw that away. Yeah, but basically what we can do is we go to repair. We can repair our items. It doesn't cost much at this point. We can also salvage them. Now, basically this permanently destroys them and turns them into crafting materials. So we want to do that to all of our magic items that are of no use to us. Because the amount that you can sell these to a shop, 69 gold, 19 gold, 54 gold, 19, 35, it's all minuscule. Minuscule at best. That's probably the best one there at 93 gold. However, if you salvage these items, you get subtle essences, which are for crafting. So let's just salvage all these things. And if you're really lucky, and so was I, we can oddly get a rare essence, which is the Fallen Tooth in normal. And what these do is basically the same thing. They just, you also have armor and stuff that you can do that with. But you need... Let's find a lower level. There we go. You can use both of them to craft certain items. That does nothing for me at this point in the game, and I won't be doing much crafting. I don't recommend crafting a lot during your first playthrough, because what we can do with these items is you just pick up all of the blue items you get and salvage them. We can sell these on the auction house for substantially more money, and I'll show that off briefly in this episode. I'm not going to go any farther. In order to continue on, we just need to go to the waypoint. So next time I'll meet you in town. But if we go to leave game here and click the auction house tab here, then we have access to a whole bunch of things. Now, if we go to sell, and we're going to sell one of those, it's going to bring up all of the ones I have. Okay, it's going to try and just sell the 9. Okay, that's better. Good. So 9 of them for 880 gold a piece. So those items that would have fetched me less than 500 gold now fetch me 8,000 plus another 2,700. This is a very, very good way of making money earlier on in the game. A couple of months ago I started on hardcore for the first time, which is the idea behind hardcore is you play through in the same manner, but once you die once, it's game over and you don't get to play anymore on that character. That character is gone. In this game that I've made here, we're not in hardcore, we're in what's called softcore or regular, and you can die as many times as you like, but you get a durability damage to your items. If you notice the durability down in the bottom right there, 28 of 28. You'll lose 10% of that if you die. It's kind of minuscule at this point. The amount of money it costs to repair is not all that high, especially early in the game. But yeah, definitely keep these items and, you know, try and sell them. I like to build up a reasonable amount before I sell, but you can sell whenever the hell you like. At this point in the game, there's not much that we need as far as gear. We want something with reasonably good attack speed as our weapon, and the damage dealt is converted to life. Little blue item, you know, line there, the fourth one from the top. That one is normally quite useful, especially late game, but 1% of our damage, which I think is like 300, is, you know, 3 HP, which is minuscule. So later on, we'll be able to get more, and it'll be better. As far as boots go, we can, you know, we want something with movement speed, because walking slow is quite annoying. A shield, you know, basically you want something with a reasonably high block and a reasonable defense rating. Not particularly anything all that interesting. Pants and armor and a helmet and gloves and bracers and shoulders and amulets, which we can't get for a while, and rings, belts. Pretty much everything that we want at this point in the game, really early, is we want our main stat, which is intelligence. We want more points into that so it'll increase our damage. We also want more points into vitality to increase our life so that we have more survivability. And other than that, there's, you know, other things that are beneficial at this point. Magic find, so you get more magic items. Attack speed, so you attack faster. That's why I like having a fast weapon. It just makes it so much easier when you don't have to wait. Other than that, there's not too much else we need this early in the game. But yeah, anyway, that's all for this episode of Let's Play Diablo 3. Next time, we will continue to chase after the Skeleton King, and I'll meet you back in game. So anyway, that's all for this one, and I'll see you guys next time.